I think generally that Chenin Blanc is one of the great undiscovered grapes of the world, particularly the sweet wines of the Loire. But it's definitely true in South Africa too. I think that these wines are, in world terms, underrated for what they are. And as I said, I think Alhait Vineyards is definitely a name to follow. I said I'd give you the prices on the way through, just to show you how expensive this tasting is. The first wine costs £31.99. The second wine, the Radio Lazarus, we think is about £35. I'm not sure anybody's yet shipped it to the UK. There are only 5 barrels of that particular wine. The third wine is not from Stellenbosch, not from Cape Point, but from Franschhoek. And Franschhoek is the original Huguenot area. When the Huguenots went there originally, there were lions there, allegedly. It has a French feel to it still. One of South Africa's most famous restaurants is called Le Quartier Français, and it's in Franschhoek itself. And if you walk up and down the high street, there it is. It's got a very French feel to it. There are boulangerie, there are patisserie, etc., etc. And the local vineyards, or vignerons association, they call themselves les vignerons de Franschhoek. A little bit pretentious, but there you go. The weird thing about Franschhoek is that a lot of the wines, or a lot of wineries that are based there, don't actually use fruit from the Franschhoek Valley. The Franschhoek Valley sort of sells itself in many ways to being a cool climate area. It's not, really. Bits of it are, and we're going to see one example here. Franschhoek is comparatively warm, and if you look at where it is, it's that sort of purple splodge, really. We see it on the map, yeah, there we go, sort of between Paarl and Stellenbosch. Bits of it are quite warm, and are too warm really to produce reliably cool climate styles of wine. This is an exception. This comes from Chamonix, and this is made by another young winemaker who is a stunning talent. This is Gottfried Blocher, and Gottfried is another one of those annoying people who's very good at everything he does. And the remarkable thing about this estate, I think, is that everything he makes is brilliant across a range of styles. So he makes a Pinotage that's fantastic, a Pinot Noir, which is one of the 2 or 3 best in the Cape, a couple of Chardonnays, and a Bordeaux blend. So whatever this guy turns his hand to, they're remarkable. The exciting thing about this wine is that, unlike most of these Franschhoek vineyards, is their altitude. And that's again the key to producing this style of wine. We're again at about 450 metres above sea level here. So very cool for Franschhoek. And you'll see in the style of wine that he's making. He's a Burgundier, and that comes through in the wine. People often talk slightly mistakenly about Burgundy style wines, and it's a bit of a misnomer in some ways. I think it's better to talk about the Cape style of Chardonnay. Chardonnay is the variety for me that's shown the greatest improvement in South Africa over the last 2 years. I've gone on record as saying that I think South Africa is the most exciting new world wine country at the moment, and I definitely think that's true, partly because it had a lot of catching up to do. I think that South Africa's acceleration, if you like, in the last 5 to 10 years has been really remarkable. I think for the first 10 years after Mandela was released in the first elections, I think it was maybe South Africa hadn't discovered a real sense of itself and its vineyards, but now I think it's completely on a sprint. It's fantastic. Chardonnay, initially a lot of the wines were a little bit over-oaked, a little bit heavy, a little bit ponderous, and I think what these wines are now showing is freshness and balance. People realising that you don't actually have to barrel ferment them 100% in new oak, you don't have to pick them overripe, you can pick them with freshness. Also, it's about learning which are the best sites. Many of you will know a couple of cool climate areas that produce very good Chardonnays. One is Elgin, which is previously a fruit area where they grew apples and stone fruit. And the other is what we used to be called the Walker Bay, and it's now called the Hemelinada Valley. And the Hemelinada Valley has 3 different sub-regions, ludicrously, within one appellation really, because they're so busy arguing with each other. There's a Hemelinada Ridge, there's a Upper Hemelinada Valley, and there's a Hemelinada Valley. And it all seems a bit silly to me, but just remember the Hemelinada bit, because some of the best Chardonnays, things like Ataraxia and Cristallum, are coming from that particular part of the world. This, though, is Franschhoek. So let's try this. This is barrel fermented, and this is the reserve. Gottfried makes 2 levels of Chardonnay. He makes a straight Chardonnay, and he makes a reserve, and this is the reserve, which sells bargain, I think, for 20 quid. You could put this up against a lot of comparably priced Burgundies. You'd probably get something from Saint-Aubin, if you were lucky, or maybe Rouy or something like that, and I think this wouldn't look too shabby against it. think lovely use of malolactic. Lots of oak there, but I think the oak works for me. The wines do age. I've done verticals of these wines, including the Pinot, and they do develop wonderfully in the glass and bottle. So this is still quite a young wine, I would say. Chardonnay, just to finish on Chardonnay, has a comparatively young history in South Africa. In the old days of apartheid, when the quarantine system against vines being brought from outside South Africa was extremely stringent. It really was. It made it very difficult to bring in decent clones of almost anything. Dani de Wet smuggled in what some people call Samsonite clones, although in his case he didn't bring it in a suitcase. This thing actually came in, I think I'm right in saying that they came via Zimbabwe, did they? Kathy might know, do you know that? Yeah, anyway, I think they came via Zimbabwe. And Dani, bless him, brought all these vines in, propagated them, won some awards with his Chardonnay, which was thought to be the first in South Africa, and it turned out to be Auxerrois. And the naughty French nursery had cheated and sent in the wrong grape, so they then had to apologise and pull the whole thing out. But Chardonnay is a new variety, particularly if you compare it to things like Semillon and Chenin and so on. Okay, we're now going to move on to the red. So it's appropriate that we've divided this tasting 50-50, because South Africa is now pretty much split equally between red and white grapes. And if you look at the grapes that are increasing in plantings, well, surprise, surprise, it's Cabernet, Merlot, particularly Syrah. Yeah? Those three things. And a lot of the varieties being pulled out, initially there was a lot of Chenin going, but they've sort of stopped that now, particularly these old vines are now being cherished and people are hanging on to them. So South Africa is at a really nice point of equilibrium now. Our fourth wine is usually from the kind of place that if you told me about this winery before I went there, would not immediately be the kind of winery that I thought would appeal to me. This is owned by a diamond billionaire, and I might think, oh, and it's a luxury hotel, and a bit of you might think, oh god, it's going to be sort of slightly too blingy for me, but it does have a kind of journalistic connection in that this winery was owned before by John and Erica Platter. And many of you will know there's the Platter Guide, which is now carries their name, but it's no longer owned by them. And John and Erica were fantastic news journalists, really, who fell in love with wine. If you've not read their book Africa Uncorked, it's a fantastic read. They're both amazing writers and truly lovely people. So this is partly a tribute to them that I chose this wine, but also because I think these wines are incredible. And this is in some ways a tribute to money, but it's also a tribute to an amazing vineyard. These are in Stellenbosch, and they're comparatively close to Franschhoek actually. But on slopes, you've got altitude, you've got differences in altitude, and again, another young winemaker, Morley Frey, doing fantastic things with some comparatively old vines. Everything this winery makes, again, I think is brilliant. In my report, I went there with Oz Clarke, and they kept bringing out these wines, and I couldn't believe how good they were. Their top wine, which is modestly called the Lawrence Graf Reserve, after the owner of the winery, is very expensive. It's one of the 2 or 3 most expensive wines in South Africa. But lower down the scale, they make things that are actually comparatively good value. So this is a pure Cabernet, and to me it's classic Stellenbosch Cabernet. Now, for some of you, the term classic Stellenbosch Cabernet might make you think, oh god, burnt rubber. And a lot of that character, that slightly burnt rubber, that overripe, underripe character, sometimes tomato skin with a little bit of greenness and then some pruniness from the same wine. Nobody really knows where it came from, but I think the best suggestion, and I've done tastings of virus vines against unvirus vines, is it's the virus-affected vines that seem to suffer from that character. It's possible that it's also linked to Brettanomyces or to various other things, but a lot of the new plantings are virus-free, and they're new clone material. And so this new school, if you like, of Stellenbosch Cabernet doesn't have any of that character. To me, this is a very modern style of Stellenbosch Cabernet. It's pure Cabernet, and some of the best producers in Stellenbosch, like Etienne de Riche, are also making pure Cabernets. A lot of people are also making really good red blends, based obviously on Bordeaux varieties. And so look out for those two. Right, so this is our Delaire Graf 09, 80%, as you can see, Euro in the wine. I think what we're seeing now in South Africa that is very exciting is that rather than thinking you can grow anything anywhere, is an increasing degree of specialisation and focus not just on regions, but sub-regions within regions. So you're seeing people looking at Seymour, for example, or looking at the Bottery Hills. You're seeing people looking at different sub-regions within the Sparkland. You're seeing people look at different sub-regions within the Hemelanda Valley and saying which grape varieties work best on which soils and which climates. And that's almost, for me, the next level of South African winemaking. I think where South Africa has come from in the sort of 25 years I've been tasting the wines and writing about them is remarkable. Where it's going to go in the next 25 years, I think will quite potentially be mind-blowing. I think that once people start to identify not only the old vine plots, but where varieties work in new vineyards, and who knows, even new areas, it's going to be truly exciting. In terms of Cabernet, I would say that Stellenbosch remains the premium area for Cabernet. Stellenbosch in many ways is the sort of Napa Valley of South Africa. It's where a lot of the money is concentrated, and a lot of the best wines are concentrated, where a lot of the most fancy estates are concentrated too. And it's no surprise that they wanted to make Bordeaux wines, or Bordeaux-style wines, based on these Bordeaux varieties, because those are the wines, or the varieties that are recognised worldwide as being internationally successful and wines that can command a high price. So you don't see so much Syrah, Roussanne, Marsanne, the weird and wonderfuls. You're much more likely to see those in the Sparkland, which is hotter, but also a maverick in its approach. You could argue that Stellenbosch is the sort of conservative part of the South African wine industry, in both good and bad senses, possibly not as innovative as it could be, but in terms of quality, a large percentage of South Africa's best wines would come from Stellenbosch. I don't know about you, I love this wine. I think it's got incredible purity, and generally speaking, I'm not a fan of pure Cabernet wines. I think that Cabernet needs friends. It's no surprise that Cabernet is often blended with Merlot and Cabernet Franc and Petit Verdot and Malbec sometimes. But I just think this has got a focus and a freshness and an intensity and a perfume about it, which is really rather delicious. The price of that wine, we don't know, because I don't believe it's imported to the UK, although I think somebody's about to start importing the Gelaire Graf wines. I certainly hope that's the case. My guess for this would be sort of 25–30 pounds here. Yeah? What is it in South Africa, Kathy? More than we can afford. Yes, there we go. Right. So our next wine